Have you ever felt that the most profound truths are hidden behind a door that someone, long ago, tried to seal forever? It's a quiet feeling, isn't it? A faint hum beneath the noise of our world. You see fragments of it in ancient ruins. You hear whispers of it in forgotten myths, and you feel it in your own soul. A sense that the story we've been told is missing its most important chapters. This feeling is not a fantasy. It is an echo, a memory from a time when humanity was connected to something vast and powerful. It's the feeling that we are living in the shadow of a great, forgotten heritage, standing before a locked gate, knowing that the key was taken from us, not just lost. We are told to look at the stones of ancient sites and see only primitive art or the tombs of kings, but your heart feels something else. It feels a power, a purpose, and a deep, silent sadness, as if the stones themselves are grieving a severed connection. Today, we journey to the high plains of the Andes, to a place of silent stone and echoing memory, Tiwanaku. We will stand before its most famous and mysterious monument, the Gate of the Sun. But we will not speak of it as a mere artifact carved by a lost civilization. We will look at it as a silent witness to a monumental event. We will explore the quiet understanding that this was not just a gate, but a gateway, a stargate, a bridge between worlds or states of being. And we will ask the most important question, the one that history books are afraid to touch. Why would anyone with immense effort and purpose try to seal such a connection? What were they so afraid of? If this feeling of a lost connection resonates within you, share your thoughts in the comments below. This space is not for loud debate, but for quiet remembrance. It is a gathering place for those who feel the same echo in their own memory. Your experience is a missing piece of this great puzzle. Subscribe to this channel so that we may continue this journey together, seeking not to learn, but to remember what our souls already know. Here, we honor the quiet truths that the world has tried so hard to make us forget. The ancient Greek philosopher Plato once said, "All learning is but recollection." He wasn't suggesting that we learn nothing new. He was reminding us of a profound truth. He believed that our souls are ancient and possess a deep, innate knowledge from a time before our birth. The process we call learning is actually anamnesis, the unforgetting of what is already within us. Think of this when you look at the Gate of the Sun. The symbols carved upon it are not just a history lesson to be studied. They are a trigger. They are a catalyst designed to awaken a memory dormant within you. The gate itself, in its silent, imposing presence, asks you not, "What do you know?" but "What do you remember?" So now let us quiet the world around us. Let go of the names and dates you were taught in school. Let us step closer to the cold, silent stones of Tiwanaku and simply listen. Let us try to feel the story that they have been waiting thousands of years to tell. Block 1. The land that breathes the sky. First, let us truly consider the ground on which Tiwanaku stands. Why here? At 13,000 feet, the world changes. It is not simply a matter of less oxygen. The very quality of the atmosphere is different. It is thin, sharp, crystalline. The distractions of the lower world, the dense humidity, the thick smells, the constant hum of teeming life, all fade away. Up here, there is silence, a profound silence that is not empty, but full of the presence of the stone, the wind, and the vast, dark ocean of the sky above. The ancients understood a principle we have forgotten: sacred geography. They knew that the earth is not a uniform sphere of rock. It is a living body with currents of energy, with places of power, with points where the veil between what we call the physical and the spiritual is naturally thin. Tiwanaku was not built in a random location. It was placed with immense precision on one of these nexuses. Think of the entire Altiplano as a great stone drum, stretched taut and close to the heavens. The purpose of this place was to amplify the quietest vibrations, the heartbeat of the cosmos, the whispers of the soul. They chose this land not to struggle against it, but to partner with it. It was a place that forced one inward, a natural temple that prepared the visitor for the work that was to be done. It was the antechamber to the divine. Block 2, a gate to the sun. It is called the Gate of the Sun. Our modern minds immediately create a literal image, a gate that has to do with the physical sun, our star. We call it a calendar, a brilliant astronomical clock. And perhaps it did serve that function, but that is like saying a human heart is merely a pump. It mistakes the mechanism for the purpose. The ancient traditions spoke of 3 suns. There is the outer sun, the star that warms our world. There is the inner sun, the spark of divine light that burns within the heart of every living being. And there is the great central sun, the source of all consciousness, the origin point of all realities. This was a gate to that Sunday. It was a stabilized, calibrated portal designed to align the inner sun of the individual with the great central sun of the cosmos. It was not a door you simply walk through. A gate implies a threshold, and a threshold requires a key. The key was not made of metal. The key was a specific state of being, a frequency of consciousness. To approach this gate with an unquiet mind or an impure heart was to stand before a block of carved stone. But to approach it in a state of prepared reverence, with the inner work already done, was to stand before an active passage. A calendar measures linear time, the procession of days and years. This gate was built to transcend time altogether. Block 3, the figure in the doorway. Now, let us turn our gaze to the silent teacher carved in the stone, the one they call Viracocha. Set aside the label of God. That word is a wall we build between ourselves and our own potential. Look at him with new eyes. He is a diagram, a map of integrated consciousness. His face is not one of judgment, but of profound experience. The tears that stream from his eyes are not just tears of sorrow. In many traditions, water is the symbol of life, of creation. His tears are the waters of life, the creative essence of the universe flowing into manifestation. It is the sorrow and the beauty of the one choosing to become the many. In his hands, he holds 2 staffs. They are not scepters of worldly rule. They are wands of power. One represents the mastery of the physical world, the laws of nature and energy. The other represents the mastery of the spiritual world, the realms of consciousness and spirit. He holds them in perfect, effortless balance. This is the secret he is showing us. Enlightenment is not about abandoning the world, but about mastering both realms and holding them in equilibrium. And notice the figures that flank him, the 48-winged chaskies or messengers. They are not mere decorations. They represent the emanations, the rays of consciousness that flow from this central, unified source. This gate is a complete cosmology, a picture of how the one becomes the many and how the many can find their way back to the one. Block 4, the wound in the stone. And here, we arrive at the silent, trembling heart of the mystery. The crack, the wound in the stone. Modern science, with its comfortable, predictable explanations, will tell you of earthquakes and millennia of stress. And yes, the earth has shaken here, but I want you to do something science cannot. I want you to feel it. Look at the image of the broken gate. An earthquake is an agent of chaos. This destruction is random, shattering, and messy. This crack is different. It is clean, feels surgical, feels intentional. Imagine the focus, the energy, the technology required to sever a single 30-ton piece of solid andesite in such a precise way. This was not the act of a mindless tremor. This feels like the act of a mind. It is the signature of a purpose. It is like finding a powerful, ancient supercomputer not smashed to pieces, but with its primary power cable deliberately and cleanly cut. This was not destruction. It was deactivation. This wound was not an accident of history. It was a monumental event, a choice made with full awareness of its consequences. Someone or something turned the key and broke it in the lock. Block 5, the fear of an open door. And so we must ask the question that changes everything. Why? Why would our ancestors or their guardians sever this sacred connection? Our first instinct is to imagine an enemy, a dark force destroying the light. But the deepest truths are often more complex and more painful. What if the door was sealed not by an enemy from without, but by a guardian from within? What if it was an act not of war, but of preservation? Imagine the knowledge and power that this gateway could grant. Not just the ability to see other worlds, but perhaps to influence reality, to bend time, to access the very source code of creation. Now, imagine this power in the hands of a consciousness that is not yet whole, a humanity still driven by fear, greed, and ego. Knowledge without wisdom is the most dangerous force in the universe. It is giving a flame to a child in a dry forest. There may have come a time when humanity, in its spiritual adolescence, was on the verge of misusing this connection in a way that could have unraveled creation itself. The sealing of the gate may have been a last resort, a cosmic quarantine enacted to protect a young and reckless humanity from itself. It was a great, sorrowful act of divine love, a forced reset to give our souls time to catch up to our minds. It was an enforced forgetting so we could have the chance to remember in the right way, with our hearts, not just our heads. Block 6, the sealed gate within you. This is not just a story of stone and starlight from a distant past. This is the story of you now. The sealing of the gate at Tiwanaku was a physical event that mirrored a spiritual event within every human soul. The great forgetting became our inheritance. That deep, quiet, and sometimes painful feeling that you are an exile in your own life, that you are homesick for a home you cannot name. That is the spiritual echo of this sealed gate. It is the memory of the connection trapped behind a wall in your own consciousness. Your relentless search for meaning, your feeling that there is a vast potential inside you that you can't unlock, your frustration with a world that feels shallow and disconnected. These are not flaws in your character. They are the symptoms of this ancient amnesia. You are a child of the cosmos, born into a world that has forgotten its own parentage. But the memory is not gone. It is dormant. Tiwanaku and places like it are not just ruins. They are alarm clocks set for a distant future. They are here to remind you of the gate that lies sealed within your own being. And the work of your life, the true purpose of your journey, is to learn how to reforge the key. Not with force, but with the balance that Viracocha demonstrates. The union of your mind's knowledge with your heart's wisdom. So, after this journey to the roof of the world, after standing before this silent, broken gateway, we are left with the great question. What now? If this gate was sealed, how do we open it? Where is the secret key, the magic word, the forgotten ritual that will restore the connection? This is the question the logical mind always asks. It seeks a direct solution to an external problem. It wants to find a tool to fix the machine. But this is the final illusion we must release. The purpose of this journey was never to find a way to physically reopen a stone gate in the mountains of Bolivia. To focus on that is to miss the entire point. The gate of stone is not the real gate. It is the mirror. It is the lasting, physical echo of the real gate, the one that was sealed inside of you. Therefore, the solution is not a grand, heroic act, but a quiet, internal turning. It is to stop searching for a key and to begin the work of becoming the key. The path forward is not found in uncovering ancient technology, but in cultivating an ancient state of being. The simple, realistic step you can take is to change your perception of your own inner world. You must begin to treat your own feelings of longing, of incompleteness, of homesickness, not as weaknesses to be fixed or medicated, but as sacred signals. That feeling is your soul's memory. It is a compass needle trembling and pointing the way home. Do not silence it. Do not numb it. Listen to it. Honor it. Follow it. Acknowledge that you feel a great something is missing. And decide that this feeling is the most truthful and important guide you possess. This leads us to the essential difference between knowing and remembering. Our world is drowning in information, but it is starving for wisdom. You can read 100 books about Tiwanaku. You can learn the name of every symbol, the precise measurements, the competing theories. You can fill your mind with an ocean of facts. This is knowing. It is the work of the intellect. But it is like reading the menu in a restaurant over and over again, memorizing every ingredient, yet never tasting the food. The intellect can describe the gate, but it can never pass through it. Remembering, on the other hand, is a function of the soul. It is a felt experience. It is the feeling of deep recognition, a yes that resonates not in your mind, but in your very bones. It is the moment you see a truth and realize you have always known it. This feeling, this intuition, this gnosis is the language of the universe. It is the only language that can unseal a locked door within consciousness. To know is to collect data. To remember is to come home to yourself. And this allows us to see the entire story from a new perspective. Perhaps the sealing of the gate was not a tragedy, but a profound act of cosmic guardianship. Perhaps we are not the lost victims of this act, but its intended beneficiaries. An age of forgetting was necessary. It was a divine pause, a fallow season for the human soul, allowing us to build a foundation of heart before we were once again entrusted with the powers of the higher mind. We were sent into a kind of dream so that we could learn the lessons of separation, of struggle, of empathy born from pain. We had to learn to generate our own light, however small, in the darkness of our forgetting. So, the challenge for us now is not to reclaim a power we are not ready for. It is to become the people who are. The purpose of this time, your lifetime, is to consciously build the inner qualities that make one a safe guardian of great power. The key to the gate is not a secret word. It is a state of being. And its components are the simple, timeless virtues the soul has always known: compassion, integrity, patience, and above all, the balance represented by the figure in the doorway. The balance of the mind and the heart, of the inner world and the outer world, of power and wisdom. We are not here to break down the door. We are here to become so aligned with the harmony of the cosmos that the door simply dissolves before us. The gate opens when the one who knocks has the same vibration as the lock. Your work is not to assault the lock, but to tune yourself. Know this as you return from this journey to the quiet of your own space. You are not alone in these feelings. The sense of longing, the quiet ache of a forgotten memory, the deep and profound homesickness for a home you cannot name. This is not your private burden. It is the shared inheritance of every soul that chose to be here at this time of great remembering. You are a single point of light in a vast constellation of souls, all awakening to the same ancient call. The same questions you ask in the silence of the night are being whispered in hearts across the globe. You are part of a quiet, unseen fellowship, connected not by creed or country, but by the shared vibration of this sacred ache. That feeling of being different, of not quite belonging to the world as it is not a sign that you are lost. It is the sign that your compass is working perfectly. Your inner truth, that quiet whisper that survives beneath the loud noise of the world, is the most precious and powerful thing you possess. You have been taught to doubt it, to dismiss it as fantasy or wishful thinking. You have been told to trust only what you can see and measure. But the great stone gate of Tiwanaku stands as a silent testament that the most important realities are unseen. So I ask you to trust that inner voice. Trust the feeling that rises in you when you look at the stars or stand in an old forest. Trust the moments of inexplicable awe and the pangs of deep sorrow for what was lost. This is not imagination. This is your soul communicating with you in the only language it has. Your inner truth is not an escape from reality. It is the path back to a reality that is far more real than the one you have been taught. And finally, remember that even if this path feels difficult or lonely now, that is part of its sacred design. The journey of remembrance is not meant to be easy. A seed must struggle and break through hard, dark soil to reach the light of the sun. The pressure is what transforms it. The challenges you face, the moments of doubt, the periods of darkness, they are not obstacles to your path. They are the path. They are forging within you the spiritual strength, the compassion, and the wisdom that will be required of those who will stand as guardians for the new world that is slowly being born. The sealing of the gate created a wound. Your journey is the healing of it. Be patient with yourself. Be gentle. The very fact that you are here, that you have sought this out, that you have listened with an open heart, means the work of remembering has already begun. What memory begins to stir when all the words have faded away?